and I also hope that you are having an amazing day so far. So today we will be doing our grade 2 English lesson on personal pronouns. So we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on personal pronoun. And before we start with our lesson on personal pronouns, we're going to log into aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged into aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of language arts and then grade 2. And then once we have selected the grade, which is grade 2, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of personal pronouns. So our chapter that we are focusing on is personal pronouns, and we will be doing it on aplusstudents.ca. So the chapter is personal pronouns. Our subject is English, which is language arts, grade 2. And our lessons that we are going to be focusing on is to identify pronouns, and to choose between the subject and object pronoun, as well as to replace the singular noun with a pronoun. So our lessons are to identify pronouns, choose between subject and object pronoun, as well as to replace the singular noun with a pronoun. All right, so we're going to the first lesson, which is to identify pronouns, right? So when we identify a pronoun, we need to first know what a pronoun is. So a pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. So the pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. So instead of constantly saying the person's name, you can just, for example, say I or my or they or she or he and so on, right? Which refers to that specific person. Then we have singular pronouns and we have plural pronouns. So of course, the singular pronoun, it refers to either one person, one place, or one thing. As then we have the plural pronoun, which refers to more than one person, place, or thing. And also if with singular pronouns, right? Singular pronouns, it takes the place of a singular noun. Like we say, which is one person with one place or one thing. And an example of a singular pronoun is Leah liked the book. So that is one example. Leah liked the book. So Leah is a noun. So Leah, it's a noun, right? But now, if we replace that noun with a pronoun, then we can say she liked it. So it refers to the book and she refers to Leah. So she is now the pronoun. And if we make mention of the singular pronouns, right? The singular pronouns are I, you, he, she, it, me, him, or her. So that is the singular pronouns. And we said a singular pronoun, it takes the place of a singular noun. And if we make an example once again of a noun, then, or an example can be Leah liked the book, right? So a noun is Leah. So Leah is a noun, and if we replace that noun with a pronoun, then it is she. Book can also be a noun, and then we replace it with it. And once again, these are the singular pronouns, which is I, you, he, she, it, me, him, and her. So if we then want to replace the nouns with singular pronouns, then these are the common pronouns that we may use to replace that nouns. Then we have the plural pronouns. And the plural pronouns, it takes the place of a plural noun. And the plural noun refers to more than one person, more than one place, and more than one thing. For example, the kids liked the books. The kids liked the books. Which means that our noun, it's the kids, and the pronoun is they. So they, it refers to the kids. I'm going to do that because they refer to the kids. And we can also use books as a noun, which is a common noun. And then them refers to the books. It's the pronoun for the books. And these are plural pronouns. So that is us identifying pronouns, right? And we say that we have singular pronouns and we also have plural pronouns. And singular pronouns, it refers to one person, place, or thing. And plural pronouns, it refers to more than one person, place, or things. All right, so then we also have a subject pronoun and then we have an object pronoun, right? We have a subject pronoun and we have an object pronoun. And you can use a subject pronoun. So you can use a subject pronoun as the subject of a sentence. And a subject of a sentence usually tells us who is doing something. So it tells us who is doing something. And a subject pronoun is usually at the beginning of a sentence. So far we can use a subject pronoun as a subject of a sentence. And it tells us who is doing something, and it usually is at the beginning of the sentence. And the subject pronoun, the common subject pronouns, it's I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. So those are subject pronouns, right? And the subject pronoun I is the subject of the sentence. And if we look at an example, it says, I hug Rick. So I is our subject. And we say that the subject pronoun I in I hug Rick is the subject of the sentence. So that is a subject pronoun. Now we're going on to the object pronoun. So we can then use an object pronoun. We said we first made mention of a subject pronoun. Now we can also use an object pronoun after an action verb. And the object pronouns are me, you, him, her, it, us, and them, or them. So you can use, once again, an object pronoun after an action verb. And the object pronouns are me, you, him, her, it, us, and them. For example, Rick hugs me. So if we look at the singular pronoun, we can say Rick is the object pronoun. And this is not, yeah, the object pronoun, sorry. And Rick in that sentence hugs me is the object pronoun, sorry. So me basically is the object pronoun, which is me, is used often action verb, and the action verb is hugs. All right, so this is basically we have a subject pronoun and we have an object pronoun, right? And then we have singular pronouns and we have plural pronouns. All right, so now we're going to aplusstudents.ca. We did say that on aplusstudents.ca, that is where we're doing our tutorial lessons, right? So aplusstudents.ca. So aplusstudents.ca. So we're going into the first one, which is to identify pronouns. And we had already explained it. And we said a pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun or it takes place of nouns. And a singular pronoun takes the place of a singular noun. And then we made an example of Leah. Leah liked the book. So Leah being the pronoun and the book being it. And the singular pronouns are I, you, he, she, it, me, him, and her. All right, so now we need to select the pronoun within that sentence. We filled pails with water. We filled pails with water. So we filled pails with water. What is the pronoun within that sentence? So we have singular pronouns and we have plural pronouns. And plural pronouns refers to more than one thing. And with plural pronouns, the most common plural pronouns are we, you, they, us, them. All right. So basically we have, when it comes to a pronoun, right, it replaces the noun. So the noun can maybe be Leah, right? Can be whichever name. So once we replace that name, right, then we replace it with a pronoun. So then instead of saying, for example, Leah, we can say she. Instead of saying John, we can say he. Instead of saying apple, we can say it, for example. All right, so now we're going to our test. So we now need to select the pronoun within that sentence. The noise frightens me. The noise frightens me. And when it comes to singular pronouns, right, we say that it takes the place of a singular noun, which is a person, place, or thing. So the noise frightens her. All right, let's do our test. So we select the pronoun. He always finishes first. He always finishes first. So the pronoun is in he. So he always puts her first. So he being he. So he is correct. We filled pails with water. So we filled pails with water. So that is true. Yes. And then you have a nice smile. You have a nice smile. And if we select the pronoun, so you have a nice smile, which means that we will choose you. So we need to select the pronoun you. And you is correct. I am busy at summer camp. I am busy at summer camp. And if we select the pronoun, then we can say it's I. And mom waits for me after school. So we need to select the pronoun. And then we can say me being the pronoun. Mom waits for me after school. Me being the pronoun. All right, so now we're going to choose between subject and object pronouns. And we said a subject pronoun is the subject of a sentence and it tells us who is doing something and it usually is at the beginning of a sentence. And the subject pronouns are you, I, he, she, it, we, and they. So those are the subject pronouns. And if we look at an example, I hug Rick. I hug Rick. So which means that the I is our pronoun, right? And it's the subject of a sentence. So it is the pronoun, but it's also the subject of a sentence, which is I. And then you can use an object pronoun after an action verb. This is now the object pronoun. So you can use an object pronoun after an action verb. And the object pronouns are me, you, him, her, it, us, and them. That is basically just as if it's plurals that sound like it. And Rick hugs me. And this comes after all right. Select the correct pronoun to complete the sentence. Caught the fish. So you can maybe say she caught the fish or I caught the fish. All right. All right. So, walks to school with Cindy. So we just need to select the correct pronoun in order to complete the sentence. All right. We need to select the correct pronoun to complete the sentence. Caught a fish. Did I caught a fish or me caught a fish? I caught a fish or me caught a fish? All right, so if we select the correct pronoun, we can say I caught a fish. So I caught a fish. And then now, do we say we grow sunflowers in our gardens or us grow sunflowers in our garden? So we can say that we grow sunflower in our garden. So grows sunflowers in our yard, and we said we grow sunflowers in our yard. Has a robot for a pet. All right. Has a rabbit for a pet. We need to select the pronoun. So has a rabbit for a pet. We say him or her. He. Him or he. So we can say he has a rabbit for a pet. So he has a rabbit for a pet. We need to select the correct pronoun to complete the sentence. So did you thank them or did you thank they? So did you thank them? You cannot thank they, you can thank them. Then was in the parade on Saturday. Do we say she was in the parade on Saturday or her was in the parade on Saturday? All right, so we will say she was in the parade on Saturday. And we are going to select the correct pronoun to complete the sentence. I am in second grade. So, am in second grade. So, I am in second grade. So, we need to select the correct pronoun to complete the sentence. Sends letters to grandpa. So we need to select the correct pronoun. So sends letter to grandpa. We can say we. All right. So now we're going to replace a singular noun with a pronoun. We're going to replace a singular noun with a pronoun. And a pronoun, we said, is a word that takes the place of a noun or nouns, which is mainly noun phrase. And we said the most common nouns or pronouns are and then we have our singular pronouns, which is I, you, he, she, it, me, him, and her. And another example is Leah liked the book. So if we look at the singular pronoun, right? Say, for example, I like Leah, right? That means that Leah is already the set one. So which means that Leah is replaced by she, or she is then we basically make real. All right. So does Mr. Boyer really have 12 goats and 3 horses? So does he or does Mr. Boyer really have 12 goats and 3 hens? So we can then say, does he? So we already have Mr. Boyer and we said him or he. So does Mr. Boyer really have 12 goats and 3 horses? Not even the lady at the library could find that book. So we can then replace the lady at the library with her. So we can say not even. So the lady at the bank could find that book. So she's got 12 cases. So not even him. So the lady of the night could find that book. So not even him could, not even she could find the book. She. So we can then say not even her. It's actually not even she could find that book. So she. So she is our pronoun. And remember, we said a pronoun, it takes the place of a noun. So she within that sentence, and she is the pronoun of the lady at the library. All right, so let's do our test. We are going to complete the sentence with the best pronoun. Miss Hodge goes running every morning before school. All right. So we say Mrs. Hodge goes running every morning before school. So we say she goes running. All right. So Mrs. goes running every morning before school. So she goes running before school. So just for fun, I made my brother a fuzzy hat. So is it I made him or I made his? So just for fun, I made my brother a fuzzy hat. Is it him or his? All right, so we can say I made him a fuzzy hat. All right. So, grade 2, that is the end of our lesson on personal pronouns. We said personal pronouns or pronouns takes the place of a noun or takes the place of nouns, right? And then we have singular pronouns and we have plural pronouns. So now you should have a good day further. Till next time, goodbye.